poppin', everybody? Welcome to Pop Ed Culture and tonight's episode of Floppy Drop, where we will be discussing this week's releases. We've got River whining in the background. He's not happy that he's trapped in the bedroom. As always, I've got my main man Drew, otherwise known as Dolan, sometimes called Heavy D, and he writes comics. How's it going, Drew?
It's going all right. Been a busy day, been a busy week. It's gonna be a busy night tomorrow. But doing all right. There was a lot of comics this week. We read
a lot of comics. Yes, a lot of new comics, a lot to talk about. Before we jump into it, though, you mentioned tomorrow is gonna be a busy night, and I wonder if it has something to do with a little book called Bloody Echoes that is launching tomorrow night.
Hey, I know that book. Yeah,
Hey.
we're launching it tomorrow night on Kickstarter, and launching it. It should be going live actually about 24 hours from now, probably 23
Nice.
hours and 40, and some odd minutes from now, we'll be going live. But we're going to be doing a live launch hangout stream on Thinking Critical. The stream is already up, so make sure you like it. Make sure you bookmark it, save it. The way when it goes live tomorrow, you can hang out with us. Aaron's going to be there. He's going to be moderating it. Someone thinks he's a part of the project. He is not. He is just moderating it. So I'll be there with Joe, possibly Joshy Poo.
Possibly.
Dietrich Smith is planning on being there. The artist of the book, Marat Michaels, is planning on being there. Shelby Robertson is going to try to be there. Nick Weiser. We're going to have a whole slew of people trying to be there tomorrow night and hang out and talk about the project.
It's going to be a good time. We do have the link for the Kickstarter in the comments. It's also pinned in the comments. So go sign up to get notifications for the book and when it launches. And then if you're free tomorrow night, come go over to Wes's channel, Thinking Critical, and listen to these guys as they get this started. Look, the fun thing about those streams too, especially when you can get people that work in the industry on, is I love hearing all their stories too. You know, like we get to talk about the book coming out, but also get some fun stories about them, their history, who they've worked with, everything they've done. So it's pretty cool. Yeah,
and that's what's going to be fun with Dietrich, bringing him on, because he's one of those guys. He's been in the industry for over close to almost 35 years, probably closer to 35 years. He's been part of the industry. And not many people know this. Aaron didn't know this, but he worked on the Men in Black comics back in the day.
Nice.
Yes. Dietrich worked on the Men in Black comics. So I brought that up to Aaron. We're going to have a discussion about that with Dietrich when he comes on. We're going to have a whole slew of questions because he was a part of Extreme Studio with Rob Liefeld and Marat. So if you guys got questions about those days, they got some crazy stories. You want to talk like just bordering on Motley Crue level stories. Yeah, you'll get those from the Extreme Studios. But Dietrich's a very, very cool guy. And hopefully others from Extreme Studios join us tomorrow night. Be a fun hangout.
Indeed. Looking forward to it. So again, mark your calendars. If you don't have anything to do, come hang out with us. We're just going to be nerds talking about comics. I need to come up with something that's like, I'm just a guy. Shoot, how's the line go? I'm just a guy talking to a girl, or I don't know, something like that. Whatever that line is, I need to come up with something like that for comics, pretty much.
Or you could do it like the Christopher Walken when he was Bruce Dickinson. Hey, I'm just a guy. I put my pants on one leg at a time. Except when I do it, I make hit comic books.
Yeah, fair. Real quick, going to the chat. Let's say hello to some folks real quick. We do have Cajun Corey in the house with evening. Cajun almost always the first person here to go, what's up, guys? How are y'all doing? We have Lyrics Lee, Leslie herself in the chat with good evening. Hello, Leslie. Nice to see you, as always. We got that degenerate Kaiser Jose in the house with Sup Nerds. Kaiser, did you read books this week? That's the question. Have you caught up? We want to know. And he went to say the Bears, but I think he sneezed, so he got the B and then corrected it with the Bears.
So apparently that's projected to be possibly one of the coldest, if not the coldest, playoff game in NFL history.
Oh,
this weekend. We'll see.
Okay, yeah. No, that would not be fun. I mean, I don't like, how do your hands work when it's that cold,
It's so funny. Like it was the Giants Packers NFC Championship game the commentators had started their thing before the game. They showed a cup of water. It's like, yeah, we got a fresh cup of water here. And then when the commentary ended, they flipped over the glass. It had completely frozen. Just that's how cold it was.
Nice. I love it. Well, it's a little too cold for my taste. We do have Salty Traveling Sea here, and he put Josh again. Yeah, it is my goal in life to disappoint people, so nice to see you, sir. Grateful Dog is here as well. Evening, everyone. Good evening, Grateful. What else do we have? Kaiser, people saying hello. Oh, well, yeah, there is that from Tropic Thunder. Just a dude playing a dude. There's that. But there's something from like a romantic comedy that's like, I'm just a guy talking to a girl. I've got to figure out where it comes from. And
we'll Deadpool?
I think there's been a lot of stuff that is ripped. I can't remember what it's from, but there's been a lot of stuff that's like made fun of it and ripped it. So we'll figure it out. We have William in the house. What's up, William? Hey, Josh. Hello, Drew. And he said his pick for the week is Geiger 20. We will be discussing that. And I honestly, some good books this week.
Yes.
It was a good week.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaiser confirmed, yes, I read most of my books. Look at you go, Kaiser. Salty was at the Giants-Packers game.
You're at the NFC you're at the Eli Manning Giants-Packers NFC Championship game? Holy crap. That was if you were there, I'm envious. That's a huge game. That was a big game.
Nice. Then he put Notting Hill. I don't know. Oh, yes. No, it is Notting Hill. That's right.
Really?
I don't know
Notting
why.
Hill?
Yeah, for whatever reason, I read Notting Hill and I thought Silent Hill, and I was like, what? But two very different things. But no, it is Notting Hill. Good. I need to look that up, get the actual dialogue, change it, and make a comics thing for it. And then Grateful Dog put for Josh, it would be, I'm just a guy talking to a guy. Listen, with my track record, it would just be me talking to myself in the mirror. Like, hey, man, it's cool that you're alone. It's fine. You're good. And then he put, for fuck's sake, you illiterate bastard. Yeah, honestly, I think it's stream brain. I can't tell you how many times I go live, especially when I'm just firing from the hip, but I'm like, something will come to mind. I'm like, oh yeah. And then the moment I start saying it, I'm like, oh shit. Kaiser's coming in with DCKO 3 and G.I. Joe were his picks. Again, we'll be talking about both of those. So
yes, we will.
Again, a good week. Drew and I don't really talk before we get on these streams, so it's always kind of curious to see what he thinks. But I'm curious to talk DCKO with him, so when we get to that, that'll be a good time.
Yeah, because there were times like in the years past, like if we read something that was so bad, I'd just be like, fuck this comic, fuck this comic. But I had one or two. I wasn't really at that urge to kill, but it just like, why are you wasting my time?
With DCKO this week?
No, not with that. No.
I was like, what?
No.
Cool. Yeah, no, there are definitely times where I think it's always funny when one person's like, fuck this book, jeez, this sucked, and then someone else is like, wait, no, I loved it. And then you're like, are you joking? No, I'm not joking. My ex and I, when Twilight came out. Anyways, we shall not discuss that. We will discuss these wonderful thing called comic books. And we're going to kick things off with G.I. Joe because it's the end of the Dreadnought War.
Mm-hmm.
Final issue of this arc, and I had a shit ton of fun reading this book.
So this is unequivocally my pick of the week.
Yeah.
Once again, Carly Simon said it best. Nobody does it better. And right now, in my opinion, no one is doing it better than Josh Williamson and Tom Riley.
Yes. So, one, I want to say this whole arc has been just a ton of fun, extremely fast-paced, extremely action-packed. But this issue in particular threw like 3 different surprises.
Yes.
I guess. You get, well, I don't want to say you get 2 character introductions, but you have a character reveal.
Kind of. I think, oh, my camera lost connection. Sorry, am I still there?
Oh, hold on, I don't have you pulled up.
Yes,
you're still. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So shit, what was I saying? Oh yeah, one of them. Yeah, well, I don't think he's shown up yet. This is his first time. I don't think we saw him before this.
One, yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's one. There's someone has been impersonating someone else.
Yes.
So they get that reveal that's at the very end. There's
We are
one
not,
that happened.
We're not saying who.
Nope, we're not.
It's a great surprise. I'm clapping my hands.
It is.
It's so funny. I'm like, you son of a bitch, you got me. Damn it.
Agreed. I was like, oh, okay. I fell for it.
Yeah.
There's the other reveal is like 3/4 of the way through, but I feel like we've seen this character once in one of the like. I think it was in one of the CoverGirl Baroness issues. Like, it popped up. Anyways, and then the only other thing that I'll say that kind of goes into a surprise or twist, if you will, is never underestimate Cobra.
Nope.
At all. Like, just
or Cobra, Destro. Yep. Never.
Yeah. But no, this is an insanely action-packed issue. It was a ton of fun. It's hard to discuss this without going into the spoilers, but just know that, like, I'll just say
it's so kinetic and action-packed. Yeah. It is relentless. That's what's great about it.
Yes. And there was a point when I was reading this and I was like, I literally thought, oh, it's happening. It's happening. But yeah, good time. Great arc. This whole arc, the Dreadnought War, is going to go down as being just like a banger of a trade or whatever. It's excellent. And I can't wait to see where they go from here. But yeah, it's a fantastic book. You got the Dreadnoughts, you've got Cobra, you've got Duke, you got the Joes getting involved, and it all just kind of comes to a head. So if you're not reading G.I. Joe, go fix yourself. You need to be reading this book. I'm with Drew. I'm pretty sure this is my pick of the week, but there's a lot of other good books out this week.
Yeah, so. Exactly. There's a lot of other great books out there, but this one, like, for the action, the pacing, the surprises, the big one at the end that I was just like, you got me. Damn it.
Yeah.
The art by Tom Riley, the dialogue, just once again, Tom has met. There's that opening page, those small details, that small.
Mm-hmm.
You look at that opening page with Cobra Commander, that little eye. You see his very small eye when he's got that chainsaw to the guy's neck. It's just, oh god, it's good. There it is. Yep,
right there.
I love it.
Bink.
Love it.
Yeah, great issue. Go pick it up, catch up, whatever you need to do. The entire Energon universe has just been a ton of fun. So
yes,
if you're not reading it, you're missing out. And since we're talking about Energon, we're gonna go ahead and transition into Transformers. And I will say, I think it's fair to say we've both been a little underwhelmed by Kirkman and Morris so far overall.
Yeah, I would say it's fair because it's a different type of story that they're telling here.
Correct.
However, with this, by the
end
of this issue, it's like, okay, things are ramping right back up to the crazy street, and what happens to a certain Transformer in this at the end? It's like, what the effing F? It is brutal, 100% brutal.
It's definitely brutal. I very much had a like, oh, we're back, boys, type of mentality. Because it ramped up real quick. I mean, you got some good action here. You've got some good story elements throughout. I just felt like this was the most cohesive and energetic issue that Kirkman and Mora have done. And I still kind of stand by what I've said before. It feels like their 6 issues that they're doing or whatever is going to be more of a transitional story to ramp things back up. But yeah, this ends on a banger of a note. Again, not giving it away. You're going to want to read it because you're going to want to experience it. But high action.
Well illustrated once again.
Oh yeah, of course. Dan Moore.
Yep, and I would say, the one, I guess you could say maybe plot twist controversial element was making RC the new Magnus.
Yeah.
So she takes the role that Ultra Magnus had. But Optimus says, "Hey, hang on. There's been points in the past where you've had two. So I'm going to need you just in case for the transition." He's like, "Okay," begrudgingly. Let me think about it. But because clearly Ultra Magnus from the previous volume, you can tell he's been very, very damaged in more ways than one, and he can't do this anymore.
Nope. But good stuff.
Sorry, I'm just remembering this stuff between Soundwave and I think it's Thundercracker here.
Thundercracker.
Their talk, their discussion, and about changing, or staying who you are. But now, one of my personal beliefs, this is just me. Loyalty is priceless, and if someone stays with you, through thick and thin, regardless, that's someone you cannot let go of. That's someone that's valuable. Yep. And Soundwave, he is that loyal character. You may disagree. You may disagree with the guy he's following. You may disagree with everything that he does completely, but there's something to be said for that loyalty. It's like that's priceless, and that's Soundwave. And I just want to say that, get off my chest. It was a great moment there talking about that.
I was really happy with this issue. I felt like it was definitely almost like a return to form for what we're used to with G.I. Joe.
And we got a little bit further expansion upon the universe. We start building out more of the Mask universe here. So it's like, here we go. Plot thickens.
It thickens. And not to knock what Moore and Kirkman have done so far. It's been good. It just, I think we had high expectations, and we came off such a strong high from Daniel Warren Johnson and Corona. This issue for me felt like a step back to that. So loved it. Can't say enough about it. Go pick it up. And we're getting more and more reveals and stuff going on. Final image book we're going to look at for a second so we can go to the chat, but it's another G.I. Joe book. It's A Real American Hero. So this is not part of the Energon universe, but it's still just chugging along. Issue 324. Larry Hama is still just kind of coming in, doing his thing. What did you think about this issue, Drew?
I thought it was fun. I mean, once again, this was just a fun issue. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think Paul Peltier is getting better as an interior artist, and he's really coming into his own, and it's getting more stylized, which is what I like about it. But this issue was a lot of fun. So there's this mysterious new space station satellite that's shown up. Then they realize it's a space station, but they realize it's probably Cobra related, and they got to send up their team to take it out, and that should be easy, right? That should be all there is to it, right?
Should be. But not so much.
Not so much. And this was another fun issue. I can't. It has Skybound, G.I. Joe. It's giving me what I want. This is fun. Yeah. Worth every bang for your buck. Worth every cent.
Agreed. Let me stop sharing so I can get us over to the comments real quick. And let's see. So we do have Beneath the Trees was excellent too. Look, I love the first volume. I haven't read the second volume yet. So I will get there. But I actually thought the first volume was really good. And I'm looking forward to picking up the second iteration, I guess. Kaiser also put, we can forgive anything if there's a paycheck. Oh yeah. We do have Zach's in the house with Joshy Poo. Hello, Zach. Nice to see you. And then Grateful Dog said, you guys see that $1 trillion kid announcement in Geiger 20?
Oh, also, I was gonna say, you mean that ad right there? Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Coming 2026. Yep. Money can't buy everything. Yes, we will definitely be talking about Geiger in a second. So it is coming. Let's see what else is going on. And then Paul Pelletier is kicking ass indeed. He's done a lot of DC stuff in the past, so I'm familiar with him. He's definitely look, this might sound bad. He's a good artist, but he's a reliable artist. Like he's a guy that you can bring in, you know he's gonna be consistent, he's gonna do the arc. You often don't have to have fill-in artists, and that alone is respectful. But I will say, looking at those pages, it almost looks like he is trying to imbue some of Mooneyham into his art a little bit. And that's helping give his art a little bit more of an identity. And I think that's why it's looking better. Because his style can come off as very like house style, which can feel safe.
Bland, generic, not as stylized or as cool as Mooneyham. But
agreed.
But I think he, like you said, I do agree, and I'll say it again. He is really he's really broadening his artistic skills in this book, and I like that.
Indeed. All right, we're gonna keep things going, and we are gonna pick back up with 2000 AD. Drew, you have been reading this. We discussed it last week. And then I am not caught up on it yet, so I am gonna let you take this away. But we've got an awesome kick-ass team that came on board, and let's get there real quick. Yes, boom. So I'll let you take it away with this.
Once again, John Wagner and Mike Perkins, they're back, and so the judges on the streets have been more or less replaced by robotic judges, and they're not making mistakes. They are taking out crime very proficiently and exactly, and judges like Dredd and others just like, it's wow. What do we do now? What's gonna happen? Because they show this situation, this hostage situation going on, and it's like, oh, they took everyone out, like quickly, efficiently, and just there's judges just like, wow, it sounds like we're about to be extinct. But there's a little twist at the end. Something a judge may have been set up. A certain judge may have been set up on the road. Who it was and what happens to him, we gotta find out in the next chapter next week.
Yeah. And for these issues, it's what, like 8 pages roughly of story in these books?
So there's roughly like 4 or 5 stories in each magazine, and each one is about 8 pages. And there was a couple in this one that were really damn good. The other one was so there's another famous judge from the Judge Dredd lore called Judge Death, and we're following his origin story when he was a human, when he was originally a judge, and we see him more or less playing mind games, playing around with the other judges, trying to pit them against each other, trying to get others fired or killed, and we see him trying to work his way in to be trusted by other judges. But is he really going to be taking them out from the inside? We got to wait to find out. But it's very good. It's very creepy and unsettling because you're very curious. You're just like, you're curious to see what he's going to do next.
Yeah. We are to that point that a few of you are going to be excited because we are moving on to Geiger, and as I mentioned, banger of a book. I think the exciting thing here, well, one, let's just say Geiger's been getting better because we kind of talked about it on Tuesday when we were talking our top 25 of 2025, which if you didn't watch that, go watch it. But Geiger's been turning into more of a hero, and I think it's been making it more of an entertaining read and more of a palatable read. But we're getting all these other characters coming in. So you got the character that is like the female version of him. So, you got that there. And then we have the Northmen coming into play in this issue. But I feel like because this world is growing, it feels more exciting because the possibilities seem like they're expanding. But I thought this was a fantastic issue. I will let you share your thoughts on it while I scroll through real quick.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed this too. It was great seeing the Northerner interact with her, and I do like the slight twist where it's like that Geiger is in the future, but may not be his future, an alternate future. And the Northerner says, "Hey, I may have a way to fix this. We gotta go to this place to get here." And Geiger's just like, "Yeah, right. You're full of shit. It's not going to happen." Meanwhile, the Northerner, he's like, for every mission wherever he goes on, he's always supplied weapons from the sky. Doesn't know by who, but he's always supplied weapons. And what he's supplied it with at the very end, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because you may need that, but it's great. It's fun. It's a once again very, very well illustrated, and I'm very curious to see how this plays out, how this turns out. Can the Northerner really change anything?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. It's exciting. Look, it's almost kind of like what bringing these characters together and kind of figuring out like, okay, how is this going to work, and how are they going to play off each other is kind of reminding me of Conan and the Serpent Society. No, Scourge of the Serpent King.
Yeah.
That kind of same element where you've got different people from out of time and they're coming together. So it's kind of got that vibe to a degree, but it's just coming together nicely. And I didn't mention Junkyard Joe, but you also have Junkyard Joe here. So I feel like the pace is picking up too. So,
yes.
That also makes a difference, because sometimes with Geiger, it can feel like it's just a little too well, earlier on it felt a little too dour. But I feel like it's yeah. I feel like it's finally stepping into its own to go like, all right, we made it here. Like, we've gone through puberty. We're past the squeaky voice. We're good. So loving this book. Go get it. And this is another one that's it's been consistently good, but it's kind of hit that element now where it's starting to get into that great territory, and can't say enough about it. We're gonna switch over to Dynamite for Space Ghost, and Drew, I mentioned discussing this book, and you didn't sound as excited as you normally sound to discuss Space Ghost. So why the dour tone?
Well, here's the thing. Look, this was a good issue.
Yeah.
But comparing this to issues in the past, I don't know. I'm hoping it wasn't a situation where I was reading at a bad time, but I really felt like the pacing was off on this issue. Like, there were moments where I just felt like it just kept dragging on. Like, certain sections of dialogue, moments just kept, it's like, okay, I get it. We get it. Let's go.
Yeah.
And that really irked me, because normally I've only had that issue once before in the Space Ghost series, and this happened again recently. I'm just like, I'm hoping this doesn't turn into a trend. But other than the pacing, which really did bother me, it was good.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying though with some of the pacing issues and feeling like, okay, we're kind of laying this on a little heavier than normal. But I think, isn't this arc supposed to be like 3 issues, or this specific story is supposed to kind of run a little longer than some of these other character features have? I could be wrong.
I don't know.
But no, I can see what you're saying. I still think it's a solid book. I don't think it's bad. I would say this whole second volume, this goes back to what I said on Tuesday as well, this whole second volume in general feels like it doesn't have as much direction as the first volume had. The first volume, I felt like, all right, here, we get your introduction and we're kind of racing to a point. This kind of feels like it's continuing the story, especially with the character arcs, but the overall plot doesn't feel like it's as, I guess, focused. If that, I don't know if that makes sense, but there's a lot of moving elements, and it doesn't seem to be driving forward as fast.
I feel like there's a lot of stretching out. I feel like he had an idea for what, and it's being stretched out. And I picked it up right away about halfway through this issue.
Yeah. What I still would say, this is a great read. I still would say this is the best work that David Pepos has ever done. Jonathan Lau is still killing it on the art. So, I think the things we're talking about are very minor gripes in the grand scheme of things, and it's still worthy of your time to read if you're not reading it.
It is, but like for someone like me, you work in comic book production, writing a story, right? You notice these things, and
absolutely.
And if you're just a reader, you may not notice that. But for me, being in, it's like, okay, I'm noticing a problem here with with the pacing.
Right. And I think the only reason I'm even kind of bringing out that justification of, hey, like, it's still good is I think sometimes when we like focus in on what didn't quite work, it can come across as we're just sounding like absolute assholes. You'll get us being assholes later. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of like, we're trying to figure out what exactly didn't click like it normally does. And that's what we had with this issue here. So last indie that we're gonna talk about for a second, and then we'll take a break. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I would say that I think it's fair to say that we both were concerned with Jason Aaron and Juan Ferreira leaving. We had Freddie Williams bring on, like, we love Freddie, but we were worried about Gene Luen Yang. It hasn't been as bad as I thought, and I would say it's actually been pretty action-packed and fast-paced.
Yes, but however, much like with Space Ghost, with this issue, I picked up a lot of pacing issues in this issue.
Yeah.
It just felt like there were moments where just segments of this dialogue just kept carrying on and going. I'm just like, my God, it just felt like the pacing just screeched to a halt a lot of times. And I understand, you want to be able to stop, read and everything, but it kills the momentum.
Yeah. I will say it felt like, and I don't feel like this was necessary. Well, I guess it could have been kind of the case with Space Ghost, but I felt like here it's almost like he knew how he wanted to end the issue, and then he was looking at ways to just kind of like pad it to get to that point. Would you say that's fair?
That's fair, and I would say that padding was ill-advised.
Fair. I do kind of like this character that was Ujigami. I guess that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
It's a cool looking character. There's potentially ties to the Turtles there as well. So we could see, but I will say, I thought this was going to be way worse than it is with Gene Luen Yang, whatever, on the book. I'll say he's surprising me. Still not great, but he's doing better than I thought he would.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Freddie Williams' art just continues to be banger. And he's no stranger to the Turtles. He's done a lot of Turtles work. So if you've seen his Turtles, you're going to know you're going to be familiar with it. But yeah, good stuff. Kind of glad that Donatello is not emaciated, but
yeah.
I love Juan Ferreira. Yeah. Look, anytime you get Freddie on art, you're gonna have some thick boys and girls. I mean, even April's thighs here.
Oh yeah.
He likes to put some meat on them. So, and no one is complaining about it.
Nope.
But, yeah. Considering where we were with Turtles before they did this relaunch, I still think this is a win because it turned into such a shit show before they relaunched with Jason Aaron.
Yes, it was. It was unreadable, unbuyable. Sophie Campbell just went scorched earth with the title, and it's just like, wow, that's one way to kill a franchise.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's an understatement. Let's go to the chat real quick. Anything new? Let's see. JK put, did Josh answer purchase question? Who is the best? Oh, I haven't. Where did that come in at? I am a Helena Bertinelli person because.
Yeah, Helena Bertinelli. Yep.
Yeah. Look, here's my thing with Helena Wayne, and I get Helena Wayne was the original Huntress, but we have so many iterations of Batman's children. I don't need Huntress to be like.
It's just it's too lame. It's too easy. I don't like it. And
yeah,
what Tom King and Jeff Johns tried to squeeze, pretty much more or less put a square peg into a round hole with the Justice Society and everything else. I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't.
Yeah.
No.
And here's the thing. I feel like they've watered down Bertinelli as a character because they don't lean into her mob background like they should, like her family. But if you go back to her original series when she was first introduced, Helen Bertinelli Huntress was first introduced, a lot of her drive and like what makes her like just kind of like, I'm gonna snap and be extra violent was the fact that for one of the crime families to get to her family, the Bertinellis, because they were the head crime family, they kidnapped her and then raped her and then sent her back, like just in a hot mess to get to her dad, which is, I know people are like, oh, that's shitty, but it defined her character. It's why she became a teacher. It's why she wanted to protect kids. It's why she's extra violent in situations when kids were involved in stopping those people. So it shaped so much of who she is. But once you take in the new 52 story elements as well, of like her running Spiral and doing all that stuff, you've got a pretty interesting character. And then they just don't do anything with it. But, you know, we do have.
There's an aversion to the darkness with some of these characters, and I don't like that. I mean, not every character should be that way.
Agreed.
You know? But certain ones, very few, you should do that for. Helena Bernardi, Jason Todd, possibly Ragman, The Question. You know, those are characters who belong in that darkness, that dark realm of DC.
Agreed. Yeah.
But yeah, once you start watering them down, making them generic, goody two shoes, it's like I've lost interest. You've just you've defanged them. You made them less special.
Yeah, they've turned her into such a like, oh hey girl, we're one of the good guys. That it's I'm like, eh.
It's like, if you guys never read Helena Bernardi, Huntress comic, wow.
Yeah, anything from the late 80s through the 90s, honestly up into the 2000s, because my favorite Huntress moment is No Man's Land, when she stops, gets between Joker and the facility where they're holding all the babies, and she essentially sacrifices herself, but they save her. That was a great moment. Going on with the comment, see, JK, you're just getting me way, like, y'all know, if you bring up Huntress, I'm gonna sidetrack so bad. We do have Zeke in the house. Good evening, everyone. What's up, Ezekiel? Nice to see you.
Yo.
Be cool to see Geiger versus Simon Pure. I don't think Simon's part of the. Is Simon part of the unnamed universe?
Well, Simon's, I think so. They're all tied in together.
Are they?
Because
okay.
I mean, Simon's tied in the Northerner with Simon, so yeah.
Shit, that's right. Duh. I know that some of the stuff is like part of the unnamed universe and some of it isn't, but I can never remember what all is and isn't. And I think that Brad
Meltzer.
Yes, I think whatever he's working on is going to be part of the unnamed universe. We'll see.
Yeah.
Regardless, Ghost Machine has been great pretty much across the board. So if your comic shop isn't carrying it, tell them to get their shit together and carry it.
Yeah.
And then Ezekiel put I'd be all over a Ghost Machine crossover. Been reading Red Coat. Yeah, Red Coat's so much fun. And Grateful Talk, but Josh secretly misses Sophie Campbell team into you. Shut your mouth. How dare you? And then JK said, I prefer Bertinelli pre-Grayson. I think there are elements of Grayson that work to give the character a step up in some ways that I didn't mind it. And then Helen Wayne is too goody-goody. Yeah, agreed. And No Man's Land Huntress is great. Hell yeah. Alrighty. Let us get back into the comics. We're going to turn to DC, and we've got DC KO. And I'm just going to go ahead and say look, it's not perfect. There are a few things that I had issues with, but overall, I had a hell of a lot of fun with this issue.
Yeah. I thought it was. I didn't hate it. I wouldn't say it was great. I thought it was okay. I'll say this. After this issue, I really feel like this artist is the wrong guy for this book. I don't think this is the right artist, and that's probably an unpopular opinion. I get what you're saying. I think the art is okay, but I agree with you. I think they could have gotten someone better for what they're trying to do. So if they had gotten a Daniel Sampry to do this, holy shit, that'd been awesome.
Yeah. But I will say, I think what I like here is the kind of what we've been wanting this event to be this entire time is more, what we get more of here. Like you get more of the fights here. So we had December with the fight month where we had all those one-off fights, and I would say overall they weren't as good as I wanted them to be, but there were two excellent ones that came out. But here I had a lot of fun. So you've got your remaining 8, and they're all battling each other to determine. But there's a fun element here where they get to pick anyone that they can pick someone that they want to be their partner. So they end up doing that, and Joker gets to be considered like, I guess, the champion of the first full round or something. So he gets to pick anyone in the universe. Which whatever, I guess. But
so initially, when his partner shows up, I wanted to rip it in half. I'm like, no,
yeah,
no.
Yeah.
But then it changes. It's like, okay, good.
I agreed, because when I first, I'm just gonna say it. When I first saw the Batman Who Laughs, I was like, fuck, of course, freaking Scott Snyder is gonna drag this asshole out of metal to bring him here. I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't like it. But they quickly changed that. But no, I thought a lot of the action was fun and done well here. Like, so these are your fights. You got Guy Gardner, and he gets Hal Jordan. They fight Superman, and Superman's gotten Shazam. You've got Lex. Lex picks Supergirl. They're going up against Aquaman, and Aquaman picked Hawkman. Interesting pick, but hey, you know what? Their fight was great, so I'll allow it.
Yep.
You got Wonder Woman. She picks Big Barda, and then versus Cyborg, and he picks Connor Hawk. Jeez, I wonder.
That was the biggest record scratch moment. I was like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah. Like, pick someone from Teen Titans or something. Like,
I would have expected Changeling or someone, Like,
yeah, like Beast Boy would have made way more sense. And then you have Zatanna, and she picks Constantine, and they're fighting Joker and the mystery partner. Now, I will say, when I first saw this, I was like, I don't know, I looked at the 2 Green Lanterns, and I'm like, I would have picked someone other than a Green Lantern. Like, if I were Guy and I knew I were fighting Superman, I would have picked someone that has magical powers. But I guess you got to think beyond that. And then even Wonder Woman and Big Barda, I was like, I guess, yeah, but you're kind of almost the same at that point. So I initially thought that was a little weak, but then you have explanations later on of why some of these characters picked who they did. And I will say, Wonder Woman's explanation to me, the moment I read it, I was like, oh shit, okay, that makes sense. And I fully am on board with Big Barda being here. Because I thought it, to me, was almost one of the most tactical reasonings for I'm picking this person, and this is why. So I liked it. But we're gonna go through. I thought the action was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. But I'll say the one I was just kind of by the end, I was just like, when we can see the final 4, I'm just like, yeah, of course it's these 4. Why should I? There couldn't be like a curveball in there. There couldn't be like an ambush bug. There couldn't be a wild dog. Someone just someone by. That's just me. But these 4, I'm just like, really, Scott? You played it safe, man. You just, that's my opinion.
I will agree with you. I do think he played it safe, and the 4 that move on. In some ways, I think they were the right 4, which almost makes me wish, like, out of their individual fights, I think the right 4 moved on to a degree. However, that just means I wish they would have changed up some of the fights so that maybe somebody else went on, especially in one instance. But yeah, I think there are 2 characters that I get and I understand, and I think they will be in their element. And then there are 2 characters that I'm like, I don't think you have a chance in hell. And then the issue ends with a reveal. I mean, I guess you can call it that. It's something we already know. But they show some characters that will be playing a part in the next issue. And maybe they're a little absolute. So
we really see them for truly how evil they are.
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud? Oh, crap.
Oh gosh. Finally. Maybe they're not just badass and cool. But no, again, I thought this was out of all the issues we've gotten, this has been the most action-packed issue. I applaud them for it. It's an event. You should have a big blockbuster. I had fun reading this. Aside from the Aquaman versus Hawkman, this is probably one of the best issues. So kudos to the team for this. This is what the entire event should have been.
Yeah, I'll say this out of the entire DC KO event, including the tie-ins, this was the second best issue.
Yep. I do want to move on to Batman and Robin because it came out this week.
Yes.
And we have a story going on that some really interesting elements here. But you have Scarface here, and you know that's kind of the antagonist that's front and center. But you've got some interesting things going on with Penguin from earlier issues as well, and you've got this guy that's in the prison cell, Mercer. It's Mercer, right?
I call him Charles Bronson because you learn. Look, he's pretty much Charles Bronson with Death Wish. When you understand his backstory, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But there's some interesting elements here that come in later from a character standpoint of between Batman and Damian, where they're looking at his character and what he's done, Mercer's character, and Batman's going, he's no different than any other villain, and then Damon's kind of like, actually, he's kind of us. And had I not become Robin, I would have become that. So it was a nice moment. But I feel like this has been a consistently pretty good book. I thought this issue was a solid issue. I'm not sure. What all were your thoughts on this, Drew?
No, I thoroughly enjoyed this issue. I had an absolute blast. And not just that, it's flipping well illustrated. This was terrific. There's some panels here, I think, coming up with Batman, how his cowl and everything is illustrated. I'm like, oh, that is perfect. But yeah, I love this discussion between Batman and Charlie Bronson, and pretty much talking about what's different between them. And he's like, it's great. And there it is, right there. How Batman is illustrated right there in that panel.
Yeah,
perfect. Love it.
I will say we keep talking about a certain artist potentially getting a shot on Batman at some point, and by that I mean Jonathan Lau. This is the type of stuff I could imagine him doing, like tenfold,
masterfully.
Finger, yeah,
yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. And just talking to Mercer about everything, about his past and his motivation, what happened to his son, and we learned about a couple of villains who may have been involved when he was with his son on the road, pulling a Smokey and the Bandit mission, and but we see that he may have an end goal at the very end of this. He's trying to do like a 2 for the price of 1, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this issue, and really making Ventriloquist a badass again. 100%. Love it. Yeah. Strong recommend for this issue. I had an absolute blast.
Agreed. We're going to move on to our final DC book that we'll be covering tonight, and maybe a little bit of a not as good as it's been, but it's Aquaman, and this is a DC KO tie-in, sure, but I would say it almost feels like, hey, we don't really want to interrupt our main story, so we're going to do this side quest story to focus on Mara, and we'll pop
Aquaman's daughter. So this was an interesting. So, okay. So real quick, do not read the solicitations. It lies. It brings up something about Black Manta and everything else. I'm like, wait. Black Manta is nowhere in this book. So I'm like, who the hell said that? But yeah. So we learn about Mara, her origins, where she came from, her mom, her dad, and on top of that, we get Aquaman's daughter in this. And what she's up to, her shenanigans. And we just see that Aquaman's... I had to read through this 2 or 3 times to really feel like to make sure I understood what's going on here. Because Aquaman's daughter is a psycho in this.
Yes.
And we see that she is just trying to just tear it all down.
Yep.
And it's like, whoa. And Mara hasn't met her yet. This Mara... So I got to remember that this Aquaman's daughter is from an alternate universe. It's not their actual daughter. So it's like, okay, we got to remember that going into this. Yeah. So, and they haven't encountered each other yet, this Mara and this daughter. So it's going to be very interesting. But yeah, Aquaman's daughter in this, it's like, oh, I'm like, if I'm reading this correctly, she's like a psycho. Holy crap. So this took a twist in this issue.
Yes, I will say while it does feel like it sidesteps a little bit to kind of allow for this DCKO.
I had no problem with that at all.
That's what I was gonna say. I applaud Jeremy Adams for going, okay, instead of making this feel like it's hijacking my story, we're gonna take a moment, we're gonna focus on these two characters, give you more of their story, and then I'm confident enough with Jeremy that it's going to make a difference as we continue with the main arc. And then we do get our moments here where it kind of shows what's going on in KO. We get a piece of that to kind of tease, like, oh, go pick DCKO number 3 up out on shelves right now. But yeah, no, it was a fine issue. And I'm just looking forward to seeing more of where we go after this. I thought the art was okay.
Oh, just okay.
I mean, well, compared to what we're getting with John Timms.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, just comparatively speaking, like it's one of those things where you read this and you realize how much you miss him, and that's not to say that this is bad, but it made me miss him. But again, if you're gonna give your artist a break, these are the type of issues you want to do it on. So whoever's idea it was to say let's do a sidestep to do a fair character focused issue, let's bring a villain artist to kind of help. Those were all great calls. Let's see if we've had anything come through. We got a lot of stuff. Hold, please. I'm going way back. All right, there we go. We have Kaiser Jose coming in with You Guys See Jeff Johns is going to be on Marvel's Spidey Superman book.
Yes. Yeah. I saw the video today with Wes and Aaron talking about it. Yeah, Jeff is going to be in there doing a story with Gary Frank, and Brad Meltzer doing a story in there.
Yeah.
Mark Waid, naturally. Dan Slott of Octavius. Yeah. You read about some of the backup stories, just like, who gives a shit about this? But I'm very curious to see what Brad Meltzer brings to the table.
Yeah. I would like them for the backup stories to try to tell a decent story, even if it's 5 pages.
No, even that. So a lot of them are maybe 2 to 3 pages.
Yeah, but this whole like, oh, we're gonna put Nightwing and Wolverine lore together because I wrote both of those characters. I don't need that. I don't need that crap. It didn't make sense. Those two should not have been together. It was a waste of pages. Go away. But yeah. Excited. I'm kind of excited to see what that. Well, I feel like overall those are better writers doing that. So, fingers crossed. And then we have William coming in with yes, the original plan for Simon Pure is that he was hired to hunt down Geiger.
Say what?
Down. I'm down for it. And J.K. said that Hornsby and Halo is starting to build. Look, if you remember, I very famously went from Redcoat being my least favorite Ghost Machine book to it becoming my favorite Ghost Machine book, and I've had other books really just kind of all shift around as they all continue to get better. So that and Rockefellers, I'm gonna be catching up on. Let's see. Read DCKO before you read Aquaman 3. Yeah, sure. Guy should have picked Bizarro. Fair. Yeah.
Oh wait, Josh, I'm going to be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. Honestly, you know what? My boy Lobo needed to be redeemed after that tragic issue that he was in. So I kind of wish someone would have thrown Lobo into the mix because why not? Kaiser said my money is on Lex. Well, Kaiser, it does seem like they have kind of spoiled some potential outcomes based on solicitations for March, I think. So we'll see. I enjoy Batman. Yeah, look, I've been enjoying Batman and Robin since I picked back up Philip Kennedy Johnson when he started, and it's been a good book since then. Yep, Rockefellers. Okay, yeah. So JK put at one point I thought Rockefeller was going to be stronger than Hornsby and Halo, but lately it just seems to spin, which is kind of a shame because I felt like Rockefeller started off really strong, and had that really strong family dynamic that Pete Tomasi's really good at. And Halo and Hornsby is one of those that's like, I really don't get what we're doing here. So, interesting. Let's see. Oh, it says I like how the issue explains Aquaman's debuffing DCKO number 3. Fair. Yeah, okay. Yes, I spoke out of turn when I said it's fine. I've just gotten so used to John Tim's work, and I love. There's a certain flair to his work that just grabs me, and I can't really articulate what it is. I really like the art, and some people really love. Yeah, I know. I get it. It's just out of all the characters that we could put Nightwing with, or if you have a chance to take, one character from one brand and another character from another brand and bring them together, like the only reason those two were brought together is because Tom Taylor wrote both of those characters, and I think that's not a fun reason.
He's a lazy hack, and the only last time something like that worked was the Amalgam universe when it was Dark Claw, when it was Wolverine and Batman.
So that's my thing, and I thought it was
lazy.
It is what it is.
It was lazy. It was unimaginative, and just lazy and unimaginative. Best way to put it.
Agreed. But I love Bruno Renato's art, so I'll at least give it points for that. But other than that, I don't have many positive things to say. Yes, Taylor's version of Nightwing. Well, his version of Nightwing started character-wise, he got Nightwing pretty good. Aside from the there's homeless people.
That you want to talk about just one way to just ruin your run. Yeah. That was what he did. We're just gonna throw the money at it and fix it. That's all it takes.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some elements of characterization that I thought he got good with Dick or did well with Dick, but then he also turned in everyone telling Dick how great he was. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but this loses once you have everyone saying how amazing Dick is, then it kind of defeats the purpose. And then it just started doing crazy shit, like the whole pirate thing, what the beeper were doing.
Oh god, I'm trying not to lose my cool, and we got comments to talk about.
Yeah,
but the sheer fact that comic kept getting nominated for best series, I'm like Seth Rogen in Pineapple Express. Bullshit. No, this is this is someone the fix was in. It was not that good.
Nope.
The minute you got to, like you said, that pirate section, what the fuck are we doing here?
They brought B back. Why? It was so many bad decisions.
And they got the heart vacuum cleaner guy.
Yeah, what I was gonna say, Heartless
vacuum cleaner. Yeah,
he's just running free, murdering people the entire run. Because I remember I stopped reading, and I didn't read for I think 15 plus issues at one point. And then I did a stream with Wes, and then Jim from Weird Science brought up. He's like, "Yeah, we still haven't taken care of Heartless." And I'm like, "Wait, this motherfucker's still running around killing people? What?"
That's not important right now. That's not important right now.
No, we gotta deal with his sister.
It reminds me. It's like shit like that is so big. It's important. It reminds me of when the other Batman guy, the Black Batman, Jace. And I brought up the question on, the aficionados. I'm like, had they established why he chose to be Batman? Why he made himself Batman? Have they even said why? What his motivation was to be Batman?
Nope.
No, they never did. I got my dad's money. He stole from Bruce Wayne for reparations. So yeah, I'll be Batman now.
Well, it leaked that it was going to be Luke. So they changed their mind last minute and were like, we got this son that was mentioned in the 70s that we haven't used, so we're gonna throw him in. It's not Luke, it's Jace. Take that. Stupid stuff. Anyways, we're gonna turn to Marvel from this week, and I feel I'm as shocked as anyone that I'm about to say this, but I really liked one of these issues. So we'll kick it off with that.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
And it is probably one that I think if you saw on the stands, you'd be like, "Fuck that! I'm not reading it." And it's Dungeons of Doom because what was it? The Doom War? What do we call that? Was it Doom War?
Dumois.
Oh no, One World Under Doom.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
Dumois.
whatever that
I call
event
it
was. This so look, I'll usually pick up an issue, read a few pages, and I'm like, "Yep, nope, not vibing with it," especially with Marvel. I picked this up and I started reading. And I was like, am I enjoying this? And then I kept reading. I'm like, I'm having fun with this. So this is a really fun kind of action-packed story, somewhat going into the aftermath of One World Under Doom. But you focus on 4 different groups and kind of where they are. And beautiful art, high action, a lot of fun.
So I will say this, a little caveat: some sections are more interesting than others.
Yes, agreed.
I'll say when we get to the very end, I'm just like, 1, I don't give a shit about who this guy is. 2, this art sucks ass. 3, what the fuck is going on here? I don't get this. This has nothing to do with this. If the whole book had just been this, with you ended with that. It's hard to talk about this without spoiling it.
Yeah.
If it ends with the discovery in the vault, I'm like, boom, you got me. That's one of the best books of the week. But it kind of dips in quality after that, in my opinion. But it's still good. But this is a fantastic opening to this damn issue. I could not believe this, how action-packed this was.
Dude, I mean, we're 5 pages in, and it's been nothing but absolute batshit crazy warfare. Look, I mean, look, again, who's doing the pages for these first few pages? Do we
Carlos Magno, my boy Carlos Magno.
Good God, get this guy more work. Like, give this guy more work.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. He's in that category with like a Clayman, Daniel Sampre, Mr. Oz. They just get saddled with shitty stories with a shitty writer. And this is an opportunity for him to really grow, because this is actually a great fucking script he is a part of. And I really hope more people can put him on a big main title after this, because he is fantastic in this. Yeah, this is what gets you. This is what gets a kid. This is what gets you involved in comic books. This is what drives your urge to want to come back to read the next issue.
Yeah. So coming up here in a second, this is when I was like, okay, we're doing some good comics here. Like, I mean, I was already liking it, but I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. And here I was like, no, I feel like we're just gonna have a bomb ass comic with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if just One World Under Doom had been like this the entire time?
Like there's more action and energy in this book alone than the entirety of One World Under Doom.
There's more action in one panel of this damn book than there was out of the entire One World Under Doom.
Yeah. You have Red Hulk coming in, which, the Red Hulk book has been not great.
Not been great, but how he's introduced to this?
Yes.
Perfect.
Agreed. Like, he's not there, and then out of nowhere, whoosh, he's coming out. Boom. Smashing. Red Hulk smash.
Yes.
And then after our title page, that's when we start changing to focus on the different groups. So, the Whisper Man. But look, you can see it's still continuing that same just kind of feel and vibe going on.
The energy, it's kinetic. That energy is dynamic. It's fast paced. It's like reading an issue like G.I. Joe, and I love that.
Yep. Yeah,
and this is where it gets weird, and I'm just like, this is where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What does this specific mutant have to do with this damn issue? Right. 3, who the hell is that?
Yeah. Yep. But no, overall, I thought it was a wonderful read. I won't go too far because there's other stuff that happens, but man, this surprised the hell out of me. And then you said Magno, right? Like, this makes me want to go.
Carlos Magno, yeah.
This makes me want to go look up his stuff. And then you have Philip Kennedy Johnson writing along with Ben Percy. Philip Kennedy Johnson for me is usually quite reliable. Ben Percy for me is very hit or miss.
Yep,
but
fair.
They hit it. They were hitting here. So, this might surprise you, but maybe go pick this up. It was totally worth it. Or at least, if they'll let you flip through it at your comic shop, go flip through it at your comic shop and take it in. we also got another #1 that came out this month, and it is Null #1. And
So okay, now I want to get back on my soapbox for
Yep.
production producing comics. So Josh and viewers watching may not be aware, but I write comic books professionally,
Yeah.
and pacing is an important part of the book, and another important part of the book is showing and not telling. And the opening of this comic, I wanted to rip this in half because I'm like, if you want to know the one way to get someone not involved in your damn comic, this is it right here. I did not give two shits. And on top of that, I don't mind having your lead character, whatever, chained up, being mocked.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
But the dialogue is goddamn horrible.
Yep.
And this goes on for way too goddamn long.
Yep.
And by the time we get to when something interesting happened, I'm already checked out. You have lost me. I gave you almost half a comic book to get me involved, but you decided to just pace it out, be boring as hell, just lull me into a sense of just falling asleep that I couldn't care less. Look, I know creatives who love and respect Al Ewing. Okay, great. I consider him a good idea man, but when it comes to executing a comic book, making it fun and engaging, he sucks ass. And I really credit the Immortal Hulk run mostly to Joe Bennett. And I think as soon as he jumped off, as soon as he got kicked off, I lost interest as well.
Yeah.
And but I see this is what happens when you have Al Ewing running, footloose and fancy free, no editor, and it's boring.
Well, look, here's the deal. So we're 8 pages in at this point. We're roughly halfway through the book. And all we've seen is Null in a cage, pretty much being chastised. And that's it.
And it's not even good chastising.
No. And it's only about to get worse because here comes Hela. And then it's just even more. And look, I get Hela's a powerful creature, but Null is also an extremely powerful being. And they just, it's overused, but they cuck the hell out of him. Right here, just... So it's just like, okay, because we're supposed to be building up to Null, right? And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, you've killed whatever small amount of interest I may have had in reading this, just because it's just, let's shit on Null for 10 plus pages.
So there's a way to do this.
Yes.
There's a way to do this correctly. So I don't know how knowledgeable you are in horror films, but Peter Jackson, filmmaker, did Lord of the Cock Rings. He was hired and co-wrote a Nightmare on Elm Street film that was going to be the original Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, before Freddy's Dead: Final Nightmare came out, that shit show. Their script involved, it took place in the future, but people were falling asleep to purposely kick Freddy's ass. Like, he becomes such a joke and everything that people were falling asleep just to kick his ass. But it only took was one person, one kid, one time to fuck up for Freddy to kill him and to start getting his power back. You know, if there had been something like that where we just see there's a way to do it correctly, like to really see him really get his ass kicked, but we don't really see him get his ass kicked in this.
No,
it's just chastising and lazily drawn at, depowering, that it doesn't work for me. And by this point, I've already lost interest.
Yep. I mean, at this point, we are 13 pages in to a 20-page comic. And yeah, you've got Noel being like, oh, I'm going to get my power back and I'm going to come slaughter every one of you. But I'm literally at a point of, who cares?
Yeah.
And part of the reason I don't like the chastising here is, and look, this isn't me saying that you can't have good female writers, but and I know this is Al Ewing, I get it. But so much of this reads like a female writer writing like zingers, like, oh, we showed him. I don't need that crap. I've had so much of that crap. I don't need it. And even before Hella comes out, that's kind of like the tone of what's going on here. But it just feels like juvenile threats. And like, I don't know, when you've got two characters as powerful as this, I expect more. And we just didn't get it. And yeah, Al Ewing, the more I read of him, the more I think that
I wouldn't have even brought in Hella. Honestly.
I wouldn't have either. Yeah.
Yeah. I would have had him on a prison planet amongst commoners. He's lost his power and lost everything, and he's just being treated as a joke.
I mean, yeah, you could still keep it that this is Hella's people, but just don't show her. And I'll where we get at page 16 where he finally breaks free. Well, I guess 17 actually.
You checked out at that point.
Yeah,
it's too late.
I would have had this in the first like 4 or 5 pages. You could have easily taken all 16 pages and condensed it down to 4 or 5, and then had this, and then like he's gonna go through. Yeah, I mean, because you do finally get to this point.
Yeah, like you said, finally, but this is too late.
Yep, agreed. So and when we got to this point, I'll say I enjoyed it, but I was in so much of a I don't care that it just it had lost me before it ever won me. So
now, question for you, Josh.
Yeah,
another possibility for this first issue. What would have been done in a sense where the dialogue is kept to a minimum? You get a couple caption boxes here and there, but it's we see the rise of Null. And then it ends with the fall, and it ends like the last page, the last panel. We see him just weak, disheveled, looking, looking like Donatello, from the TMNT run. Just amongst prisoners, just he's at his lowest he's ever been. It ends there.
Yeah, because then I feel like you're signaling, like, hey, now we're gonna rebuild Null. There's a reason why we're telling the story. Yeah. As opposed to what we got is let's break him down and okay, he gets out. He's threatening revenge. Okay, great. But yeah, I think if you took it either way of maybe it's him in a cage starting off and it's just everything happens way faster and potentially less or at least less dialogue from him. Let them talk their shit. And
there's
keep
too
him
much.
There's
there's too much dialogue here too. The dialogue sucks ass, and this is what happens when an editor does not do their damn job.
Yeah. You could have just had it as he was even starting off with him in the cage. You could have had it as Nola's just kind of rebuilding his energy, and you can have the guard talking his shit and just have him there and just kind of like slyly watching, just waiting for the opportune moment to take it. Also, why the fuck is Nola in a basic cage? Like, can we talk?
Yeah, he's like a rat in a gilded cage.
Yeah,
he's like Christopher Walken in Batman Returns.
We're showing this dude taking out freaking Celestials, and then we've got him in an iron.
No, it's stupid. This is why I think it'd been cooler if he's just at his weakest. He is so scrawny. He is with other prisoners who are bigger than him, who are treating him like shit. You know, and, but that's just my opinion. I just like how these drawn. This is illustrated here. It's a fucking joke. You can't take that seriously.
It's like when you have two retards telling each other how, or I shouldn't say retards, but when you get those nerds that are just so completely out of touch with reality, they're like, oh yeah, well I know karate. That's kind of what this reminded me of. It's just
this is
each other.
Al Ewing, someone who's never experienced, what it's like to be in jail. Someone who's known someone who's been in jail or seen facilities like that. Or know the pecking order of something like that.
Yeah, it's Al Ewing like, oh, you're gonna feel my wrath, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not scared.
Okay, let's see it.
Yeah. What a shame. Look, there's potential to do something fun here. Look, I'll put it this way: as crazy as he is, and as bad as some of the stuff he's been doing is. Can you imagine how different this would have been if Donny Cates would have written this?
It would have been. I think he would have done it one of the ways I said. I really think he would have done it one of the ways I did it. But definitely would not have been this way.
Nope. Two more books real quick, and they're both X-related, but we're going to kick things off with The Uncanny X-Men. This is Gail Simone's book. We're finally out of Age of Revelation, and we're unfortunately going right back to this
it's just
stupid... Whoever came up with the name Mutina, clearly Gail Simone, and the fact that the editor's like, yeah, let's run with it. Mutina is the stupidest fucking name ever. Look, I will say, I don't know. Like, it was kind of like a relief that we didn't have Age of Revelation, but Jesus Christ, it still fucking sucks. Do you agree? No?
No, I'm trying. I'm gathering my thoughts. I'm trying not to get angry. But this date night thing where you wanted me to bamf you. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bamf you so hard, baby. We're gonna bamf so hard. Yeah, do you like me bamfing you? I bamfed you 3 times, baby.
Yeah.
Look, bamfed me. Oh God.
She's very clearly trying to be cute. Yeah, like it's very clear what she's like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a. Oh, you're saying it's a double entendre?
Oh gosh, yeah, a very obvious one. I've decided that I'm instead of whenever I come on to people, I'm like, I want you to bamf me, or I want to bamf you. One of the two.
Mine used to be Smurf. We went to my place. She smurfed me. No Smurf away.
Me. And then when I saw the I was like, oh my God, it's okay. And then the oh dear Lord, it's like, all right, it's an orgasm. We get it. Yeah. But then I thought of Office Space, and he's like, yeah, totally got her O face. Oh.
It's that exact feeling when Gail gets that breadstick reload at the Olive Garden. And she gets the
breadsticks.
Yeah, gets the queso reload. The dip for the breadsticks. Yep, that's that face she makes.
Oh my God,
dear Lord. Yep.
Can we also talk about how none of this makes sense, though? Like, how many people has Nightcrawler teleported, and they've never had
that reaction? I mean, how many ladies has he teleported? We've never had that reaction.
Yeah. So, it's probably a reason why they didn't show the bottom part of her dress, just saying, and it's a surprise birthday party because we can't fucking come back into an action comic. Have we done an action comic with X-Men?
And hey, no backgrounds. Don't you love that?
That's what I was just about to say. Look at all these shitty yellow washes because there's no background whatsoever. And then Mutina comes back because she wants to be part of the X-Men for PR reasons, but we can't because she's doing movies that's anti-mutants, even though she is a mutant, and it's
she's
complex,
trying to
right?
And she's telling Wolverine, oh, by the way, you got this new X-Man who murdered this person. You got this new other X-person who's murdered these people and didn't do anything. This other person who's involved in murder. And it's like, well, you kind of do have a point. None of these dipshits should be on this team. They should all be locked up. And so should you. Yeah. And Wolverine is he's just a dickless piece of shit in this. I mean, this is not Wolverine.
No. Well, I mean, if you
I laughed out as soon as we saw the horse and everyone like, oh
my God, I know.
I got my pets coming after you. It's like, seriously? How are you not laughing at this?
You're talking about how it's a dickless Wolverine, but even looking at him here, this is the most like daytime soap opera / CW. How pretty can we make Wolverine? I think I've ever seen. And then when these two kind of get in their tussle together, and he keeps getting surprised by her, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Once maybe, but the fact that it happens more than once, I was like, okay, it's Wolverine we're talking about here. Like,
it's like, are you really that desperate to join the X-Men? It's like, why?
Well, and it's like, two things. It's kind of like not about the. I don't fully understand why she wants to join the X-Men, but whatever.
It's like not just that, but this group, really?
Yeah, I know. And I would say, like, if you're gonna have this moment with her getting the best of a character, maybe make it one of the new X-Men. But the problem there is we already don't care enough about those characters that I guess you want to try to draw attention. And hey, you got Wolverine, but then you totally like undermine Wolverine as well. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, but here we go. More crazy. So, I cannot wait for this iteration and run to end, and us to get a whole new relaunch of the X-Men.
But even with
Which
the
is
relaunch, even with what we're getting, it's just like it's not getting really any better.
no.
They don't get it. It's
Mm-mm.
just like I'm Doctor Evil talking to Scott. Scott, you just don't get it, do you?
Mm-mm.
It just they don't get it.
Nope, at all. Final thing we'll talk about, and this will be kind of brief, but we got another Black, White, and Blood series that came out. This one is Logan. Notice it's not Wolverine, but it's Logan. Look,
Okay, so
go ahead.
okay, deep breath.
Yeah.
There, three stories, relatively three different time periods.
Mhm.
There is a great way to do these stories.
Yes.
The arms race one, how that is told, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And it's like not just that. So this is during the Korean War.
Yep.
Now, look, I'm not the largest, the biggest war history buff, but at least I know one of the bloodiest, horrific battles in Korea was the Battle of the Chosin Reservoir. It was terrible. It was tragic. They couldn't bury the dead because it was so damn cold and frozen. It's like, why not have Wolverine there at the Chosin Reservoir? Like maybe like the dead are brought back to life as zombies, or something like that for him to fight, from the Russians or whatever. But to make that interesting, but
Yeah.
that didn't happen here.
Nope.
And the second one in New York City, it wasn't it didn't fit the style I wanted, because it's supposed to be New York in the 1970s when it's grim, gritty, grimy, nasty, but the art doesn't support it really.
No.
He's trying to make it look that way, but it looks too clean, in my opinion. It doesn't work, and it's just, and not just that, it's boring.
Yeah.
You have Wolverine going to a porno theater and killing a guy for interrupting his movie. Like, really? That's it? That's what we're doing here?
Which is already like so question. Like, what are we doing? I was wondering if you were going to bring that up, because I was like, when I read that, I was like, okay, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was so random. No, I'm with you. Like, they tried to go 70s, but they didn't go 70s enough. It almost feels more 90s than 70s in a lot of ways.
Yes.
And I will say that the decision to have all these deep reds for the backgrounds and stuff doesn't help either, because it almost makes it feel too modern just from the colors. Yeah, there's only one decent story here. It's the third one. It's Larry Hama's story.
Yeah, and then at the same point, look, I understand the story he's telling.
Yeah.
I get to a degree, but look, I come from a family of hunters. I have all my uncles. We've all hunted, and how hunters are depicted here, it got under my skin, because not all hunters are like that.
No,
depiction.
I guess my stance is just visually, and even how the story unfolds, this actually feels like competent comic book creators crafting a story.
Yes, and how the first half of this, where it is beautiful. It is really well illustrated. I'm like, this is too damn good for this comic. Yeah. And but then as soon as we introduced to the redneck rube hunters, I'm just like, all right, you lost me.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. But no, these first pages are just fantastic and beautiful.
Yes.
And this reminds me of back when they used to do like the Batman black and white books. Like, you would have quality come in to do something like this. It felt like there was a point, even though it was a short story. Like, you got something out of it, and I thought that's really what we were getting here. And then I agree with you. The depiction of the hunters is a little like, okay, we get it. But there was still a lot that I liked in this for me to say, like, all right, I enjoyed this for what it was, but it's not worth paying for this entire issue to get this. Especially when that third story, even though it is the best of the three, it still doesn't end on the best note. who did the art for this one though? That's what I meant to look at the beginning. Dave Watcher or Watchter.
Oh, Whacker, Dave Whacker.
Oh, is it Whacker?
I just like calling him Whack. I just like calling him going whacking off my tool shed.
Oh my god!
You them boys whacking off my camper?
Yeah. And then redneck hunters. Yeah. So look, you know what you're gonna get with these crossover or these colorless books or the colorless with a color. It's gotten to the point where they're all just, for the most part, terrible every single time. Yeah. Again, there used to be a point like we're going to tell a short story, but we're going to have a strong theme and we're going to lean into that theme for these 8 pages or whatever it is. But now it's just like, oh my God, we are going to put these people who are often nobodies to tell a story about nothing. Yay. Buy our book. Please don't buy the book. They need to stop. So
yes.
That is going to end our comic discussion. Let me go back to the comments. And then we do have Kaiser coming in to say he picked up Dungeons of Doom because of Philip Kennedy Johnson. And then when we moved on to Noel, he put Al Ewing, pass. And then he followed that up with an X book, pass. So yes, that is understandable. Salty put, in all fairness, some chicks don't get off from riding a washing machine either. Oh God, yeah. Well, you know, and
those spin cycles.
Yep, all that orange, the bears. Those splashes of color for the background, that pisses me off. Look, put a little effort in. Like we're not hiring you to draw characters. If we wanted you to draw characters, we just let you go, do marketing stuff for us. We need you to tell a story, and a story needs backgrounds part of the time. Guys are just reporting the facts. I love it. And then Salty put, you lost me at Gale, Roller, and Flower. And look for the white spots of bone. Oh, no. So JK wants to know, so does Dickless Wolverine mean there's no Nightwing in that book? Does that mean Nightwing doesn't show up in that Wolverine? Not quite. Not quite. And Salty put, drawing Wolverine as an anime twink is a bold move. Okay, but let's keep in mind, this is the same title where they had Wolverine in booty shorts, and shirtless, and all the guys as gay coded as possible visually. So we shouldn't be shocked. And then Chosen was really, really bad.
Yes. It's one of those, it's a shame, really, because the Korean War gets really forgotten, Korean conflict, if you will, because it's just wedged between World War II and the Vietnam War. But there were some very, very horrific events from that time, and the Chosen Reservoir is one of the most tragic moments during that conflict. And I really feel like a situation like that is where Wolverine should have been, and him experiencing that would have been powerful, would have been really great.
Indeed. Hey, but you know what? You're a competent storyteller. And you're not here to just be like, wouldn't it be great if, and do the most basic bullshit ever.
Yeah.
That is going to wrap up our night. Make sure if you haven't liked the stream, go like the stream. If you're on the X side of things, come over to YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll greatly appreciate it. We're here pretty much every Tuesday and Thursday talking about nerd stuff, almost always comics. But yeah, we'd love for you to guys come join the conversation. Comment afterwards. What was your favorite book of the week? That only helps the algorithm get more views onto the page. We'd like to grow the channel. So I'm working as fast as I can behind the scenes to get some of that stuff done. Just editing is a tedious, time-consuming process. Other than that, I will say, Drewski, I know you are going to be live tomorrow night on Wes's channel, but other than tomorrow night for the kickoff of, hold on, Blood. Oh, shoot.
Can you get it?
Blood Echoes, Echo Hole.
You're right there. You got it. You're right there.
Echoes of Blood. Oh, shit. Hold on.
You're so close. You're like 98% there.
I know it's Echoes. Fucking A. I want to say Blood Echoes, but I know that's not.
You're 99% there.
I don't know. I'm blanking. Bloody Echoes.
There you go.
I was like, I know it starts with blood. And I know echoes is the second word. I was pissing myself off. We're gonna say that salty super sticker for $2 is what got me, because I saw it and got excited, and then I thought bloody. But yes, real quick, salty coming in with $2. Thank you, good sir, and for your $2, we're gonna do a little. Actually, okay, I don't have that, so we're gonna do a little spike. Why not?
What are you doing here? 5 words or less.
Out for a walk. Bitch.
Yeah. Salty, thank you for that, man. As always, we really we enjoy it. But we all enjoy these Josh brain freezes, truly cinematic. Indeed. This is why people come to watch me be an absolute idiot. But yeah, we were gonna wrap things up. Drewski, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
Like you said, tomorrow night I'm Thinking Critical, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And you can find me on Thinking Critical on Saturdays as well. You can find me here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can find me on Facebook, Dylan Waddick. You can find me on Instagram, Dylan_Waddick. I just share nothing about my projects.
Yeah. As you said, we are here Tuesdays and Thursdays. So come hang out with us, be nerds. If you want to follow the channel on X, it is at by Popped on X. If you want to follow me directly, you can follow me at Joshua L. McDonald on X, and then JoshWorks903 on Instagram. And yeah, it was fun. Had a good time talking comics, and we will see y'all. Well, I guess we'll see you tomorrow night, and then we'll see you Tuesday as well. So, Good night, everybody. Thank you.